Hello everyone, this is EJ Musa. It is October 19th, 2017, and this is a video episode of The Naked Truth. This last Monday at the work session, there was a conversation on traffic lights led by Tom Udell in front of the City Council, and there were some things that really bothered me about what was being said. We all know our traffic lights are not functioning as they have been advertised. Councilmember Stephanie Andres tried to lead a conversation with that last May, and this last work session was one of the first times it really dove back into this issue, and it's very obvious that I was unhappy with this conversation, as I hope anybody else who watched it was. So I want you to listen to what Tom Udell says here about the traffic lights and how many times you catch green lights versus red lights, and then we'll proceed from there.
As far as the signal timing goes, our signal timing is pretty well set. It's I think we do a good job. I know that other people will argue with me because it doesn't matter what it is. They blame the traffic light. We've done studies. We're at 78% of the cars in Johns Creek in any given day are hitting a green light.
So if you heard what I said, Tom Udell reports that we, on a daily basis, hit 78% of the lights green. The only other way I could interpret that was that on a daily drive, 78% of the cars encounter one green light during their trip, and all the rest are red, which I do not think he meant. So he's suggesting that 3 out of every 4 traffic lights you hit in Johns Creek were green. Technically, that would mean that, especially on our major thoroughfares like 141 and State Bridge Road, that the lights are green 78% of the time in the direction that you were traveling, and we all know that to be untrue. So I'm not sure where the 78% comes from, but because of his suggestion that that is what we are getting, I have started to create a log, and I am going to share that with people so that they realize just how horrific the number of green lights we get versus the number of red lights are. I am time stamping those daily trips, time of day, and I can tell you with absolute certainty that it's a theoretical impossibility for, on average, Johns Creek drivers to be getting 78% of the lights green.
We actually have a system in there that's looking at the detection currently, and it's measuring how many cars are coming in a green, how many are coming in on a red. So I mean, I think we're doing a pretty good job. Over 3/4 of the cars are getting a green light. It's just that red light. The red lights are what you remember.
So you've heard Tom Udell repeat multiple times that we're catching 3 out of 4 traffic lights green. My question is for you, is that your experience? You can do like me. You can get a piece of paper in your car, put a column for red and a column for green, and as you drive through Johns Creek, put a check mark. Left, green, right, red, and see for yourself. Write a timestamp on it, whatever half hour it is, and then you can turn around and email that information to me, and I'll be happy to incorporate it in my analysis that I'm doing for myself. And I'm getting ready to post you an image of my analysis so far, but I can promise you it is absolutely impossible for Johns Creek drivers to be getting 3 out of 4 traffic lights green. If they believe that at our traffic center, then we have a more difficult problem to resolve than merely getting the traffic lights working. So on 3 separate trip segments during yesterday and today, I went through 45 traffic lights driving in Johns Creek, which is a tremendous number of traffic lights considering I only traveled maybe 15 miles total. With that said, I caught 44% of the traffic lights green and 55% red. Far cry from the 74% or 78% that is being suggested by Tom Udell. I think they need to relook at their data and figure out how they're coming up with those calculations. If they think things are good and that we're catching 3 out of 4 traffic lights green, it's no wonder why they're not trying to resolve any of the problems that we continue to complain about. But you know, and I know, there's something seriously wrong with that calculation. So I do encourage you to keep up your own log and let me know what results you have. I would be very happy to hear from you. EJMOOSA@yahoo.com. Feel free to send me your results. Thank you. My conclusion is very simple. The residents of Johns Creek, along with Councilmember Stephanie Andres, is trying to solve a problem. Unfortunately, our traffic center guys do not even acknowledge that it is a problem. In fact, they think there is no problem. Mr. Udell said, you remember only the complaints and not the compliments. So if you receive 5 compliments or so in a day and the one complaint is what you're going to remember. Unfortunately, that analysis does not apply to this. We are very astute. We drive these roads every single day. We know what is happening and is not happening. I would love to know what time of day these guys are collecting their data that shows anybody is catching 3 out of 4 traffic lights green. Thank you for your time. Please feel free to email me, ejmusa@yahoo.com. Together we can help resolve this problem and get you home sooner and you to work sooner and around Johns Creek in a more quick fashion. Thank you.